It's been a while since I've reviewed a VR product. Let's take a look at OlenVR's Asset Gunstock. This particular combination that I received allows me to kind of set it up the way I want. I can either have it in just one physical piece that doesn't detach from itself, or the configuration that I ended up putting it in, which is where I can separate it from the middle, and that allows me to still climb ladders and open my backpack easier, stuff like that. So what you're seeing on screen right now is how I chose to set the gun stock up, and I really like it this way. It's super cool that you can actually adjust on the fly the length of the gun stock, both on the front grip and the buttstock section. At the time of filming this video, the total price for the setup you see here is around $58. But you should go take a look on their website. I mean, they've also got different configurations. There's smaller versions of this gun stock that are much cheaper. Currently, mine's fairly straightforward. Like I said, I made it so that it has the separation in the middle, and I eventually added my own sling to this gun stock. So, my first impressions on quality, A+. Very durable material here. It does not feel cheap in the hands. I personally like 3D printed products. There's people out there that don't. But you can really tell that they added some beefy material where it's needed, and it's nice. You also get the ability to choose what type of cups you'd like. I ended up using full cups for both hands. That's just the way I like it, since I can separate down the middle. But again, the beauty is you can customize it. But it's one thing if it looks nice. The real question is, how does it perform? So I decided to load up Exfilzone and go into a few raids and see how well this performs. Now, it is worth noting here, typically I play seated. That's my preference. If you don't like it, you can eat my ass. I don't care. However, for this video, I actually wanted to stand so that way I could try out splitting the gun stock into two, which is kind of the whole point, right? So that way I can actually get into my backpack easier, open up crates easier, utilize a sidearm if needed. So you're going to see some of that here, where I actually get to show off the functionality of getting into your items. In an extraction shooter, you know, things are really fluid, so it's nice to be able to stand for this so I can show you guys that it does work. Now, something that I encountered right away is just not being familiar with the gun stock right out of the gate. And that's to be expected. So just because it feels complicated at first, I want you to know that shortly after only a raid or two, I got very comfortable and my muscle memory started kicking in. It's easy to detach the gun stock if you use some force, and it's easy to put it back where it needs to go. It just takes repetition. It's not that hard. Oh, check this out. I waste this dude. But as I was saying, in the beginning of this raid, I was just getting used to having a sling on, having my controllers both be inside the cups, and forcing myself to separate the gun stock as much as possible. If I'm not using my rifle, then it was separated. That way I could get used to putting it together when I need to use my rifle. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, it works well. Now, I didn't show it on camera, but there are two notches that are located in front of the magnet, and that's there so that way there's not much wiggle or play whenever the gun stock is together. I really like that design. I could feel it, so that makes it even stronger. And something I noticed, man, when you do figure it out and you can get that magnet back together and you pull that gun up, your sights are dead on. So bravo, they did great with the engineering here, because no joke, any time I pull my gun up, I could see my sights right away. There's no confusion, and it is dead steady. I like to use two full cups. Now, I'm sure you can get the same result if you chose to stick with the half cup up front. Holy shit. Holy shit. Dude, nobody would believe that if I wasn't recording. Ho ho. What do you got? The gun stock does have a little bit of heft to it. I like it. I mean, it almost adds to the immersion that I'm holding a rifle, at least, sorta. But that magnet probably adds to that weight. It's nothing that's uncomfortable, though. I will say the wrist positions are okay. They're not the greatest. I wish I could turn the cup. That would be a great addition if I could actually turn it left to right, but I understand that it's in a fixed position.
I am so sorry, Mr. Scav player.
Now, I'm going back to the price in my head. So what you're seeing on the screen in my current setup, it's going to be that $58 package. I think that's a good deal. There are still many other gun stocks out there that are way too overpriced. Sorry, I'm going to say it. Too much money for what they're offering. I think this is right on the money, you know? This is high quality stuff. I like it. I think that they really did some research here. They've improved on their previous designs. I used to use the spine that OlenVR offered, and that one was very rudimentary, very beginner, and you know, it had some of its flaws, but it also was still a good entry-level gun stock. This gun stock, you can tell, is a big level up, and I can actually see myself using this frequently. I can reach for this quite often. Now, in Exfilzone in particular, this thing shined. I did not encounter any issues using this Asset Gunstock in Exfilzone. I will say that Ghost of Tabor was a pain in the ass, but it was not the gunstock's fault. The gunstock operated perfectly fine in Ghost of Tabor. Ghost of Tabor is just a terrible game. I'm so sorry. I used to love it, but it is got so many bugs. Now, if you were curious, does this gunstock work with Tabor? 100%. But Tabor has its own crappy bugs and issues that I just didn't even want to film for it anymore. I deleted all the footage, sorry. Exfilzone was a blast because obviously the game runs very smooth and all of the systems are working properly. I loved it. You can get into the backpack without separating the gun stock. I want that to be known. But it is so nice to be able to separate the gun stock whenever you want, and then you just reach for your backpack and start putting things in, and oh, it's a treat. I really like it. And with all these extraction shooters that we have to play, keep in mind there's so many different guns to shoot in different sizes. So what's nice is those SMGs that are awkward to hold, you can just put this thing down to its smallest configuration right on the fly. You don't even have to leave the game. Just hit those buttons and slide it down into a compact form. You can shoot an SMG. Do you want to go on a sniper rifle run? You can pick up your op rifle. You can pick up your Barrett 50 cal or whatever it is you're trying to use and just slide this thing out as far as it'll extend, and it can get very long. The configuration I have is a long gun stock. And it feels so comfortable in game. Everything lines up perfectly. So adjusting on the fly, it's an A+ as well. Anyways, there you have it, folks. The Asset Gunstock. Does it get Skuzzy's recommendation? Yes, 100%. Is it worth the price? Yes, I believe so. And are you going to like it for most of your shooters? Yes. I think this is an A+ around the board. I think anybody who buys this will be happy with it. I recommend getting it in the configuration that I have, so that way you can play any shooter that you'd like and be very comfortable. Get a sling for it too if you're a standing player. Otherwise, if you're a seated player, man, this thing is just a joy to have. Highly recommend it, you guys. Great job, OlenVR. As always, check the description below and you'll find the links to everything you see here. Anyways, guys, I can't wait for the upcoming wipe for Exfilzone, and you guys will be seeing some more videos from me when that happens. So I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.